Hello friends, welcome back to our virtual classroom. So today we will discuss about the design of centrifugal pump. So first of all, I would like to thanks to Lakshman Mane sir and Aditya Bhavne sir for support and guidance sir. Without his support, this design is not possible. Okay. Now we'll start the virtual practical on design of centrifugal pump. Okay. So before starting the design of centrifugal pump, we know that the most of the industrial processes include the conduction of fluid or energy transfer. Okay. So this energy transfer is possible because of this only a centrifugal pump. Okay. So thanks to centrifugal pump to make this happen. Okay. And it's the most popular turbo machine. Okay. The growth of improvement of industrial process have been always linked to the improvement in the pumping equipment. Okay, so centrifugal pump continues to more than 85% of the world production of the pump due to their capacity and handling the high flow rate. So in this module, okay, we complete the design of centrifugal pump by using the some refuted data handbook, and we use the some research paper, okay, to make this successful. Okay, just wait. So in market, so many varieties of firms that are available. So proper design is the most important requirement for any facility. Okay. So generally ensuring that there is no cavitation and maintaining the continuous flow enough. Okay. So we have to design the centrifugal pump. Okay, with no cavitation effect. So at the end of this session, we can understand how the cavitation factor is decided. Okay, and how the cavitation is affected on the centrifugal pump. Okay, so you can see this first slide. Okay. So there are the various components we are going to design. Okay, so for the designing of centrifugal pump, okay, we will going to decide the some initial parameters. It's like types of fluid, types of impeller, types of casing, shaft position, types of impeller vanes. Okay, so number of stages, then selection of speed of the pump or speed of the motor, then specific speed. Then we have to select the manufacturing head, manometric head, then impeller diameters, then water power, then the motor power, and then we lastly we'll check the its maximum suction lift, or we can say net positive suction head. Okay, and after that we decide the cavitation factor. So that the well known equation, that is Thomson coefficient equation. Okay, will cover at the end of this session. So these are the parameters will decided from the design data handbook. Okay, so I will provide you that design data handbook. Then we clearly understand how the various selected parameters getting from this data book. Okay, so first of all, we'll discuss about the introduction. Okay, so as I earlier told that the typical selection criteria for the centrifugal pump are their design data. Okay, so the various parameters are associated with this. So first of all, we'll take about the flow rate, then head, speed, okay, NPSH, number of stages. So these are the you can see these parameters. Okay, so we'll discuss one by one. Okay. Now, step one, to select the various parameters. Okay, first of all, we select the Newtonian fluid. Okay, why we select Newtonian fluid? There are various types of fluids are there in industrial applications. For example, Newtonian fluid, non-Newtonian fluid, ideal plastic fluid, thesoplastic fluid. Okay, so for this we can take the sugar industry application, so or we can say farming application. So most of this case, in this application cases, the Newtonian fluid is present, so that's why we'll take the Newtonian fluid with viscosity 1 into 10 raised to minus 3. the unit of the viscosity is remaining. That unit is Newton second per meter square, or we can say take it as a poise. Okay, so one poise is nothing but 1/10 Newton second per meter square. We can take this. Then the selection of, or we can say types of impeller. Now, how to select the type of impeller? Okay, so impellers are three types of impellers are there in market. So first is the open impeller, then closed impeller, and semi open impeller. So depending on the types of fluid, or we can say debris available, or we can say dust particles available in the water, we select the impeller. So if you talk about the open impeller, if the fluid is very dense fluid, or we can say viscosity is high, or we can say number of debris or dust particles are more, or we can say pulps, in case of pulp, फ्रूट पल्प रहते हैं, तब हम क्या क्या यूज़ करते हैं, ओपन इम्पेलर. ओके, जस्ट लाइक यू कैन सी इन दी इन होममेड एप्लीकेशन, दैट इज मिक्सर. सो मिक्सर में आप देख सकते हो क्या होता है, वो ओपन इम्पेलर रहता है. ओके, बिकॉज वी यूज़ दी नंबर ऑफ larger densities fluid, or we can say larger viscous fluids. Okay, then next one is semi open impeller. So somewhat debris are present in this fluid. So for example, in case of, we take the application of sugar cane. So the sugar cane have a number of impurities are there, so that sugar cane juice have a number of impurities are there. That's why we use the semi open. And closed impeller means fresh water we use. In that cases we use the open closed impeller. Okay, so for this design consideration, we select the semi open impeller. Okay, then next one, types of casing. So we select the type volute casing. Okay, so there are number of casings are present in the market, that vertex casing, volute casing, diffuser casing. Okay, so for this better understanding, or we can say normally we use volute casing. So there is physics behind this volute casing, because that area is gradually increases from the inlet to the outlet. Why it is happened? Because we have to flow the continuous velocity, and we increase the pressure gradually from the inlet to the outlet. Okay, so that the purpose we use the volute casing. Then types of vent. So there are three types of vents are available also in market. So first is forward vent, backward vents, and radial vents. But in case of forward vents are used for the one of the turbo motion application where we produce the work done. But in case of turbines, we use the forward vents. And but in case of the work absorbing devices, okay, if you focus on the work absorbing turbo machines, for example pump and centrifugal compressors, we use the backward vents. Okay, with angle of outlet angle phi is less than 90 degree. Okay, why this phi is less than 90 degree? Because the effect of blade angle at outlet is affected on the work done and power of the pump. Okay, so then the selection of speed. So for selecting this speed, okay, we use the data handbook. Okay, so I will show you a data handbook. Okay, just wait. So this is the data handbook. Okay, we've taking from the internet. Okay, so if you focus on this speed of rotation, okay, so if you select the 50 hertz frequency and number of poles are 2, then for this case we select the speed of the rotation in rpm is how much, because normally the frequency of the current is 50 hertz. Okay, so we select the 2900 rpm. So this is the speed will taken from the data book. So again we select the discharge. Okay, so discharge will take from again from data book. Okay, we'll take the 65 meter cube per hour. Okay, or we can say 20 US gallon. So these are the data book available on the internet is international. So that's why we'll take the units as a 20 US gallon. So we have to convert into SI units also. Okay. Now, if you focus on the data book, we'll take this discharge from the nomograph. Okay. So what is my nomograph? I will show you. Just wait. So if you focus on this nomograph, okay, from this nomograph, uh, as we select the speed of rotation is 2900, and from this same data book, okay, we'll take the specific speed as a 70. Why we can take 70? Because for the we select this pump as a radial flow. Okay, so for the radial flow the specific speed becomes 70. Okay, low head radial flow. So 2900 and 70, if you intersect this line and again go to the left side. So left side, we focus on this, on left hand side of the nomograph is flow rate, then bottom of this is speed of rotation. Okay, and right hand side if we can take it as a specific speed. So intersect this point, and if you go to the left side, we'll get the exact value. Okay, so which is the 60 USG. Okay, or we can say, sorry, 60 meter cube per hour. So after selecting the discharge, then speed of rotation, by using this data, okay, we can directly find out the required manometric head. Okay, so the manometric head becomes the basic formula for specific speed is ns is equal to n under root q upon hm raised to 3 by 4, or we can convert this formula as hm is equal to n into under root q. Ns means specific speed, n means speed of rotation, and q is in discharge meter cube per second. So we have to convert this discharge into meter per second. So the value becomes 0.01805 meter cube per second. Okay. So put this value and find out this manometric head, that is how much, 9.856 meter. So this value is in meter, keep in mind. Okay, because in next slide we'll take this manometric head in foot, because from this data handbook we have to select the diameters. Okay, for this impeller, that is that available graph is in foot, so that's why we have to convert into feet. Okay. So next, it's the selection of impeller diameter. Okay, so if you focus on this diagram, okay, we can with this diagram we again collect from this design handbook. Okay, on this figure or on this graph, the right left hand side is total head, then bottom side is on, we can say, x and y axis, then axis is capacity US gallon, and total head is on y axis. Okay, that total head is on feet, not in meter. So we have to convert that manometric head into a feet. So multiply by 3.33, we'll get the answer in feet. So we'll take the capacity is how much, 20 gallon. Okay, sorry, 20 US gallon. So if you go to means 60 in our SI units, 60 meter cube per hour is nothing but 20 US gallon. So keep in mind, so don't get confused. So if you go to the in vertical, then if you match this line, okay, the value will become 33. So it might be in the verge of below the 60. So that's why from this graph we select the diameter of the impeller, that is 2 inch. Okay, so that values are in inch. So directly we select from this graph, the diameter becomes 2 inch. So if you see this calculation, okay, so the discharge is 20 US gallon, so manometric head becomes the 9.856 into 3.33. 3.33 means we have to multiply it and convert into feet. So the outer diameter is 2 inch from this diagram. Okay, and we convert into a meter, 0.0508 meter. Now, next important parameter we'll discuss, that is blade velocity. So, once you find out the diameter of impeller, then we clearly find the blade velocity. So, the tangential velocity formula becomes the pi dn by 60. So, put the value of diameter, then speed. Sorry. Then we get the answers. Okay, so 7.71 meter per second. Then once we find the velocity, then we directly find out the width also. So width from the data book, the relation we'll got, that is the d by b. The ratio of d by b is nothing but 4. So we can directly find the width of the impeller, that is 0.0127 meter. Then next we talk about the water power, because water power is a very essential parameter, because the input is the water power is nothing but our output, because in centrifugal pump, the centrifugal pump is the reverse case of we can say a modern Francis turbine. Okay, so in case of turbine, water is our input power, and whatever work done developed by these turbines will get the output, or we can say shaft is the output. But in case of pump, the shaft power, or we can say motor power, is our input, and water power is our output. So if you focus on the water power, how to find water power, we'll get this directly formula, that is rho qgh upon 1000. So in this formula we'll know the rho is nothing but 1000, that is we'll take density because we'll take water, so that's why normally the in case of sugar cane juice, sorry we can say sugar cane juice, the normally what contents of water is 98%, so that's why we'll take the 1000 density. So don't get confused कि सर हमने इधर water use नहीं किया, sugar cane किया, तो ये 1000 कैसा है, ठीक है. So for your better understanding, we will take the 1000, then 9.81 gravitational force, then discharge, then manometric head. Again, that's manometric head in meter, not in feet. Okay, but 1000 will get the 1.79 kilowatt as the output power. So now we have to convert into HP. So we have to divide it by 746. Then we'll get the in HP. 0.746 ने अपने जब डिवाइड करते हो तो आपको ये हॉर्स पावर में मिल जाएगा. सो 99 इज बाय मिस्टेक, सो प्लीज निग्लेक्ट दिस. ओके, then we talk about the motor power. So from the design data handbook, we get the power formula. So these are the totally electrical part. Okay, by using this electrical calculations, okay, by using the Ohm's law, okay, we'll get this value P is equal to VI cos phi. So that is cos phi is nothing but a power factor. Okay, so if you studied in industrial motors subject, so on that subject we'll get this power factor Y cos phi will take. Okay, so we'll not discuss in details in this session. Okay, so that V is nothing but 240 volt, the current I is nothing but 15 ampere, and power factor is 0.96. So if you put this value, okay, and we'll get the output, the input power of the motor is 3.46 kilowatt. So if you convert into horsepower, so we have to divide it by 746, and we'll get this value 4.63 HP. Okay. Then overall efficiency will directly find out the overall efficiency. Efficiency is nothing but what output upon input. So output is our water power and input is our motor power. So put this value and we'll get the overall efficiency 50.31%. Okay. Now again, I already told you in first slide, okay, or we can say in the starting of this session, the maximum suction lift. Okay, this is one of the most important parameter. Okay, because if you not select the proper suction head for this centrifugal pump, then the cavitation will be start. So how the cavitation will be start and what is mean by cavitation we'll discuss later. Okay, so how to find the maximum suction lift, or we can say we select the proper suction head. Okay, so if you apply the Bernoulli's equation at the section 1 and 2 or we can say at the sump level and impeller eye of the impeller. Okay, so the height becomes hs, then velocity of the suction is vs. Okay, so apply the Bernoulli's equation at the sump level only first. So pa by w plus vs square by twice g plus za is equal to, at the suction side, ps by w plus vs square by twice g upon twice g plus zs plus hfs. Hfs means what? We consider the friction losses at the outlet. Okay, because friction loss we does not neglected in any cases. Okay, because always the roughness are present in this pipe. Okay. So if you apply the assumptions, okay, so at the initial stage the datum head at the inlet is becomes 0. So if you directly so at the initially we'll neglect the velocity, okay, at the sump level. So only we consider the velocity at the outlet. Okay, we can say suction velocity. Okay, so if you neglect all these terms, we'll get the hs is equal to, hs means PS by W is nothing but Hs. So directly we convert into head by using the hydrostatic law. So Hs is equal to Ha minus Hv minus S Vs square by twice g. Okay, so we'll get this equation number 1. Then now, so the Ha means the atmospheric head. So atmospheric head normally will take at the 25 degrees Celsius temperature and pressure becomes 1.032 bar. Then we'll get the atmospheric head is how much? 10.32 meter of water, and then we'll get the vapor pressure head, that is 0.3228 meter. And suction velocity, by using the area of 5 we directly find the suction velocity, that is 9.19 meter per second. So from this equation, okay, so put the values in this equation number 1 and we'll get the Hs becomes 5.69. Okay. So how to find delivery head? So delivery head is nothing but what? So manometric head minus the suction head, and then we'll get the delivery head. Okay, HD. So not HS, is HD. So please make it correction. These are the typing mistake. Now, so net positive suction head. So what is mean by net positive suction head? So basically the pressure falls, in case of suction side, the water pressure falls below the atmosphere. Okay, so vacuum is created, but that pressure is not fall below the vapor pressure. If that pressure is fall below the vapor pressure, then cavitation will be start. To avoid this pressure falls below the vapor pressure, we provide a proper suction head. Okay, so how to provide? By using this equation, Hs is nothing but Hm minus Hv minus Hs. So we'll put these values from this previous slide, and we'll get the net positive suction head value, that is 4.30. Okay, in meter. Now how to check this value is corrected or not? So as we know, so one of the most important parameter, that is Thomson cavitation factor. So sigma, it denoted as a sigma. So what is the formula becomes NPSH upon HM. So whatever suction head to the manometric head, जो इसका जो रेशियो रहेगा उसको बोलते हैं थॉमसन कैविटेशन फैक्टर. If the value becomes, for this case the value becomes 0.4367. Okay, So now if you take the as the critical value of the Thomson coefficient factor, that is sigma c is nothing but 1.03 into 10 raised to minus 3 into our discharge, that is the specific speed. 70 is nothing but a specific speed raised to 4 by 3. So we'll get this value 0.297 meter. Okay. So we compare the critical value and normal coefficient factor. So comparing the value of sigma and sigma c, here sigma is less than sigma c. Okay. So no cavitation will be occur. So if this value is less than this critical value, then we'll get that there is no any cavitation occur. So that's why our pump design is very safe. Getting? So these are the okay. So once you understand this the sigma and sigma c, then we clearly understand how the our design is safe. Okay. Now if you solve this design by using various applications. Okay, so you can refer this design procedure, and we have to solve any applications of centrifugal pump. We can solve for marine application also, we can solve for farming application also, we can solve for industrial application also. Okay, so is there any doubt? Then feel free to talk. Okay, so thank you.